You do need certain things in order to apply for an E2 visa, in general, to any visa. We always talk about the business plan and how relevant it is for the whole application. So in your experience, how important is to have a business plan for this specific E2 visa?
It is quite important to have a detailed business plan to support E2 visa application, especially for a startup enterprise. Based on the business plan and the details, the officer will need to be satisfied that the business has a strong potential of making meaningful contributions to the economy, and that the business will be successful and it will have a realistic ability to achieve its financial goals. And that's the point of the business plan, is to lay out the 5-year business development strategy. And there are 5 key areas that the business plan should specify to give that necessary information to the adjudicating officer to develop that confidence in the business and be willing to take that leap of faith and trust in the future ability of the business and grant the E2 visa. So the business plan needs to specify the business entity and ownership structure. It needs to specify the investment, the capitalization, investment, spending. It needs to specify the projections of financial employee hirings over the next 5 years. It also needs to explain the applicant's relevant business experience to be credible entrepreneur in this particular industry. And also it needs to have detailed explanations of the products and services and customer acquisition strategies. These are all key components for the adjudicating officer's evaluation.
Is it a bit different? Because I'm, again, working with startups, you know that most of them, they do have some sort of a business plan, right? But do you think it's a bit different to have a business plan for this specific application, or do you think it's very much transferable?
There is a difference for sure, because there are key elements in the E2 business plan necessary for E2 visa decision making. So part of the E2 visa requirement, for example, is that the applicant needs to ensure the business will be financially successful and make a meaningful contribution and not be a marginal enterprise within 5 years of business startup. That's why we need to have a 5-year financial and employee hiring projection. It correlates the E2 legal requirement that the business must reach a qualifying performance level within that time frame, for example. Another component is that the business must be majority owned and controlled by a treaty national owner. So you got to have that details of breakdown of the ownership shares and managerial structure to assure that a treaty national is in fact in full managerial control and ownership control of the business, as well as the substantial investment and spending component of it, and how that lays out the usage of the investment money into the U.S. economy. These components may not be in a traditional business plan, but they must be included in an E2 visa business plan.
So it's not just the wishful thinking of the startup business plan. It's actually hardcore numbers.
That's right. The audience is different. E2 business plan is audience of one, adjudicating visa officer. So that's why it's so important.
Your to-go tip for the people that is ready for an E2 visa, what will be the best tip you can give them right now?
I've seen these mistakes over my 25 years experience so far. I come across sometimes applicants, and it's not their fault. They don't know the legal requirements or E2 visa nuances and complexities. And they'll go ahead and set up the business, invest their money, and I'll discover the fund source is not qualifying. And the money is already spent. So it's a situation where I cannot reverse what was already done. And we have to start all over again. All the effort, time, money, and energy possibly wasted. Get the right advice. Do it right the first time.